Okay, here's my story. In 2020, I got an astrology reading. And that reading, among many things, told me, Michelle, this is the year that you come into your purpose. Oh my God, there is nothing that I want more in my life than to feel on purpose and to know what it is with my mind. So I was like a kid with a new toy, like telling everybody, super excited. And then I waited, right? I'm like, okay, it's coming. And a month went by, and another month, and another month. And I still didn't feel on purpose. And I started to get worried. I was like, is there some book I need to read? Is there like some journaling that I need to do that I'm not doing? And the secret fear that I had underneath was, what if I fuck this up? What if my purpose is supposed to come, but somehow I get in the way? So then I'm really starting to freak out. And it felt like there was this clock ticking for me because it was like, before your next birthday, you're going to have your purpose. And so every day I was like tick, 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 and my anxiety was rising and my guts were knotted. And I was just like, oh my God, what if it doesn't happen? So I didn't know where to turn to. I decided to get another astrology reading because the guy who did my reading, he also did one that was for your soul purpose. So I get that one, and it is short. And essentially, he says, Michelle, your purpose is to be an entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, great, but I already am an entrepreneur. I've owned Embody for 6 years now, and I don't feel like I have fully landed in my purpose. So now here I am, 2 astrology readings down. I know it's coming, but I have no idea what it is, and I don't know how to make sure it happens, and I'm worried that I'm going to fuck it up. So I realized, Michelle, duh, turn to the thing that you always use to find truth and meaning, which is my art. Art always reflects back who you truly are. I have always used art to know myself and to see myself. So this was the perfect thing to use. I pull out a nice big blank canvas, I set an intention, and I start painting. I work for about 2 hours, and then I step back and I'm like, okay, it looks really red and really raw. So I follow that. What does raw mean? In the dictionary, it's defined as painfully open. And I'm like, yeah, I do feel painfully open. I feel like I'm going through this birthing process, but I also don't know how that's my sole purpose. But the nice thing about art is that it's a process. So I didn't have to figure it out. I just had to follow the next step and keep creating. Turns out something really was being born. There was a birth process happening. And what it was the truest, most authentic version of me that I had ever dared to be. When I finished the painting, I did see my soul purpose staring back at me. And then I felt it. That's what I was expecting, is this sigh of relief, this like, oh yeah. And it's this coming home to yourself moment because it's who you've always been in a way. And then I stopped having that jealous feeling that I often would have when other people were doing big things and making an impact on the world, because now I knew what was mine to do and how I was going to be of service. So the jealousy disappeared. I really felt relief and calm. And what I saw on the canvas was Michelle using her voice and being deeply grounded in the earth, in the big mama energy. And part of this was me remembering some parts of my heart that I had left behind. So there was this nice reclaiming and healing in my heart. And then I also was reclaiming soul, which I represent as those concentric rings. And I did lose soul as an adult somehow. And so there was a reclaiming of that. And then also a reminder of art being the way that I am supposed to show up in the world. So the way I would state it simply is my purpose is to bring woman, soul, and earth together through art. Art is a soul language. It is how we can communicate with ourselves and have our truth reflected back to us. And that's why this worked. The astrology reading did not help me know my purpose. It helped me know it was coming, but that actually freaked me out because then I was just worried about time. The art helped me see my purpose because it comes from inside of you. There is a part of you that already knows what your purpose is, and the art can help you see it. Art is a soul language, but you have to know how to ask the right questions and you have to use it in a specific way. And then you need to know how to read the messages that are there. And that is what I help women do every day in my women's groups.